kind of self-explanatory. She's very solid. Both former Mae Young Classic competitors. Candice LeRae, big name on the Indies, very good worker on the Indies. Same thing with Perazo, Jersey girl. So up in New York, here I am in the crowd. One part of the show that I really marked out, I just kind of screamed. I'm like, "Let's go, Jersey girl, kick her ass!" Like that was fun. You got to support your fellow statesmen or women. You know, that was solid. And LeRae had a solid match the night after against Shayna Baszler for the women's championship. And someone online had posted the full match on Twitter, and I took the time to watch, and that was really good too. That was solid. That was a very good match. And honestly, if it wasn't, that match even on the live show, I believe, belonged on a takeover. I hope maybe one day LeRae gets that chance to have a women's championship match at takeover against Baszler. I was even saying to my friend John, it's night and day with how much better Baszler's gotten from the time that she competed in the first Mae Young Classic, and most of the women that were working with Baszler pretty much had to step up their game to help make her look that good, or they structured the match in a way where it wasn't so obvious that there were certain deficiencies in her ability. So now it's, now she can go. And she can go with very good, talented women in there, and it's awesome to see. And speaking of Shayna Baszler, she competed with the other two four horsewomen. The other half of the horsewomen. I say half because there's four, whatever. So it was the three of them against Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Bianca Belair. Solid match, and I feel the next takeover women's title match we're going to get for WrestleMania is going to be Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler. And honestly, the way they're even playing it on the live shows, I could definitely see them doing Baszler, Shirai, and Belair. I could see that. Which wouldn't be a bad match either, because then you can have Shirai and Belair go against one another. I think it would be a good match. Either way. They seemingly are setting up for that. And the tag match was awesome there too. Lorcan and Birch versus Fabian Eichner and his partner. I can't remember his name. Oh, that's horrible. I can't remember his name. But anyway, that tag match was really good. I've always been a huge fan of Oney Lorcan's, even before he got signed. And being able to see him live was really cool. He's always been good, but when you see him in person, it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, he's definitely that good. So that was definitely the case, and I was really happy to get to see them live in a good tag team match. Eichner is a phenomenal wrestler and really impressive in person. It gives you, watching these men and women in person gives you a different perspective. I mean, me being as a former wrestler and somewhat referee myself right now, yeah, you get a different perspective seeing it live and a better appreciation than you do on TV. And, going through a training like I did, yeah, you gain a different perspective of exactly what these talents do in the ring. So, main event was, I know I'm skipping over a match or two, probably. Well, either way, main event was Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. Awesome match. That was just awesome. Ciampa comes in, does a run-in, does a spot with them, and Ricochet comes out for the save, and Gargano gets the win. Obviously he's not going to lose the championship at a house show, which sucks because I kind of wish that they would do something a little bit different in regards to, doing interesting things like that at a house show. But anyway, so the complaints that I heard from a lot of people were Adam Cole wasn't there. None of the Undisputed Era were there. Aleister Black didn't wrestle. Ciampa didn't wrestle. I heard a couple complaints about that. And there's another one I heard that there was a complaint about, but they weren't there. I was mad that I didn't get to see Eric Bugenhagen. But that'll come within time. But yeah, very solid show. Very good company that I was with John. Very, very nice of him. Again, I thanked him over Twitter and in person, and I'll thank him here on the show for thinking of me, taking me out of the house because I needed to get out and to experience NXT Live for the first time, which was really cool. And hopefully we get to do that again sometime, because that was a very good experience. Caleb Braxton very interactive with the fans, and so it was definitely an all around good show. I would definitely recommend anybody who hasn't gone to see the fights or the live events in which NXT puts on. If you haven't gotten the chance to do it, I recommend doing it, because it was not that the tickets were expensive, but it was definitely worth the price of admission. And even if you don't get the stars that you wanted, like an Adam Cole, like Undisputed Era, like this, like that, you still get very solid talent all around. So definitely worth your time to go and take a look. Is that Ring Girl wearing braces? Sorry, I'm watching a boxing match in the background. They have, I think it's a junior middleweight championship fight now. That I think it's junior middleweight title. And one of the ring girls in the center with the ring announcer, she was smiling, and I could have saw she wore braces. She was wearing braces. I don't. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't gone to see an NXT live show, please, do yourself a favor and go see it. If you're watching in a live window, you see the number right there on the screen. Call 657-383-0105 to come in and talk about whether you were at any of the NXT live events this weekend. Lowell, Toms River, Poughkeepsie. Did you see them? What did you think of the show? If you went to go out and see an independent wrestling show this past weekend, God, I know Barrington Hughes, a former guest on the show, was in a no-ring death match with Casanova Valentine this past weekend, which I saw clips from that, which was really interesting. So maybe you saw that. You want to call in and talk about it. Or anything you want in the world of pro wrestling. 657-383-0105 if you're listening on the live window. Or if you're watching live on twitch.tv/Calypso426, you can leave a comment here as well. I'm going to take a break. Now, I'm going to play the match that I kind of cut off. There we go. The match that I cut off in the middle of last show, because it was in the middle of the Double or Nothing event, and they were just about to announce Kenny Omega as the newest member of the AEW roster. So we have that to talk about, and a bunch more. Again, if you want to call in, talk on Twitch chat, go right ahead. All right, and we are back now with Open Mic Wrestling Night here live on Twitch. Again, that was Sadie Gibbs taking on Lana Austin. I believe that was from a European tour that Sadie was going on, and she had posted all these up on her YouTube channel. You can go check her out there as well. Thanks again for Sadie for giving me permission to share your match. Like I had said before the break, this kind of cut off because I was airing this match in the middle of the Double or Nothing ticket event, and they were about to announce Omega, so then I pretty much just cut it off and went back to the live feed. Well, I couldn't show it on the stream, but I just wanted to get my reaction of Omega pretty much making his entrance now. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the match. And if there's any other matches that you want to see from different people on this show, because I during my breaks I like to, because with typical Twitch streamers, they'll show or they'll play music and whatnot. I want to be able to give my audience something to see, so that's why I typically put matches on. Normally of somebody who I'm having on as a guest that week, and then another one of just something else I found, and of course I want to be able to have permission before I air it. So don't be saying, "Oh, I want to see Gargano and Ciampa," where I can't clearly air Gargano or Ciampa matches post signing of WWE. Just for a reminder, let me just look up my guest list here. I will be changing this because typically I go on live Thursdays every week, but since this Thursday is Valentine's Day, more than my lady and I, or my fiance and I, are gonna rather more than likely be doing something, as I'm sure a lot of you and your significant others are hopefully spending some quality time together for Valentine's Day. But the week after, I have Zach Haydorn, PW Torch specialist and host of the PW Torch VIP audio show on the Canvas. He'll be on the 21st of this month, so that's not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Then on April 1st, which I will begin with my WrestleMania week, I will be joined by Michael Weber, Chief Operating Officer of Fight TV. That'll be very interesting, and I'm grateful to have him come on to the show because I wanted to get people, like, I'm sure I'm still working on guests for WrestleMania week, but I wanted to get some guests on that maybe deal with WrestleMania week from the business side of it. So, it's definitely, the business of WrestleMania week is tremendous now that now they have like the WrestleMania week where all the indies, or a lot of indies from around the world, are having showcase events during that time. And with it being in New Jersey this year, screw you everyone. MetLife Stadium's in New Jersey. Obviously they have the takeover happening in Brooklyn, and they have the Hall of Fame happening in Brooklyn, which is a damn shame because it should have been happening at the Garden. And but everything's happening in Jersey, and even most of the events WrestleMania week are happening in New Jersey. So happy to have him on, and again, I'm working on some guests for WrestleMania week as well, so hopefully that'll come through. And then Stephen A, and actually I'm going to be looking into the Stephen A of the Deathmatch, U.S. Hardcore Deathmatch Wrestling newsletter. He'll be coming on April 25th, as well as Stan Styles promoting his upcoming Intergender Bonanza event in May. So I have a bunch of guests coming on, and I'll be working on, because for all you independent wrestling fans and deathmatch wrestling fans, we have a series of tournaments coming up in early spring. So I'll be looking to have a few deathmatch talents come on, maybe a promoter, to talk about the deathmatch season and what that means to them and everything else like that. And it's definitely a niche crowd, but I enjoy watching deathmatch wrestling for one reason or another. But that's the guests that are coming up so far, and as you see below, if you're watching live on Twitch, on Twitter at Open Mic Wrestling, no G, and on Instagram, open_mic_wrestling_night, just in case you want to follow the show's socials and get in on that as well. I always post up any guest updates on both applications. This way you're up to date on all of that. So we have confirmed matches now for AEW's first show. Again, I always preface in saying it's definitely their first show because All In is technically a Ring of Honor property for now. But as the AEW brand, there is a show coming up. Obviously, if you haven't heard already, May 25th, Las Vegas, Nevada. And let's see, I'll pull them up. The one I already know of is Hangman Page and Pac. That one's definitely been confirmed.